Being anonymous in crypto is now probably more important than ever. Not because people suddenly want to do something illegal, but because privacy is disappearing fast, and once it's gone, you don't get it back. Now, almost every exchange is tracking users. Almost every on-ramp is reporting data. And most people still don't realize how much information they leak every time they spend crypto. What used to feel optional is now essential. And today, I want to show exactly how people are spending crypto anonymously in 2026. No KYC, no unnecessary limits, and no complicated nonsense. Just practical, real-world methods that actually work. If you enjoyed this kind of content, please subscribe to the channel. It's literally one click and it means a lot to us. We're pushing hard to grow and your support really helps. Let's get into it. Crypto itself did not become less private. The environment around crypto did. Governments are rolling out global reporting standards. Exchanges are forced to collect more data. And blockchain analytics companies are better than ever at linking wallets to real people. If you buy crypto on a KYC exchange, send it to a wallet, and spend it directly, you're not anonymous. Not even close. That transaction can often be traced. Your balances can be analyzed, and your spending habits can be profiled. So the real question is not, is crypto anonymous? The real question is, how do you use crypto anonymously? And that's what this video is about. First, I want to talk about the foundation. If anonymity matters to you, the coin you use matters a lot. Let's start with the obvious one, Monero. Monero is still the gold standard for privacy in crypto. Transactions are private by default. Sender, receiver, and amount are all hidden. There's no turn privacy on setting. It's just private, always. That's why Monero keeps getting delisted. And that's also why it keeps getting used. In 2026, Monero is still one of the easiest ways to actually spend crypto without leaving a trail. Many people don't even realize this, but a lot of merchants who accept Bitcoin quietly prefer Monero payments. They simply convert it on their side. Why? Because Monero doesn't expose wallet history. Bitcoin does. Now, another option worth mentioning is Zcash. Zcash uses zero-knowledge proofs. It can be private, but only if shielded addresses are used. So it's not as foolproof as Monero, but in some cases, it's easier to use with merchants and platforms that don't want to touch Monero. Then there's Bitcoin. Bitcoin itself is not private, but there are ways to use it more privately. And that brings me to the next part. Now, if you're mainly a Bitcoin user, don't panic. There are two main tools people use in 2026 to improve Bitcoin privacy. The first one is the Lightning Network. Lightning transactions don't hit the main blockchain. They're fast, cheap, and much harder to track. If you open Lightning channels correctly and avoid linking them to KYC sources, Lightning can be very effective for everyday spending. Coffee, food, small online purchases. The second concept is coin separation. This is critical. You never want to mix KYC coins with private spending coins. People often use Bitcoin like this. They buy BTC on a KYC exchange, then they swap it for Monero using a no KYC swap. Then they spend the Monero. That extra step is important because once Bitcoin touches Monero, the trace usually ends. Now, let's talk about how people actually swap and move funds without KYC. Next, I want to talk about how people move between coins anonymously. This is where decentralized exchanges come in. DEXs don't require accounts. They don't ask for ID. They don't care who you are. You connect a wallet, you swap, you disconnect. For same chain swaps, platforms like PancakeSwap or Ka still work fine. But for privacy-focused users, cross-chain swaps are more interesting. That's where newer on-chain venues come in. Instead of classic swap protocols, a lot of traders now route activity through perp DEX ecosystems like Hyperliquid or Ether. Hyperliquid, for example, is basically built around trading. Perps, deep liquidity, fast execution, and no account drama in the traditional sense. Ether is in the same conversation for a lot of people who want that on-chain trading experience without jumping through the same centralized hoops. Now, I'm not saying perps magically make someone anonymous. They don't. But they do change the workflow. Because instead of sending coins to a centralized exchange with KYC, people keep funds on-chain, manage exposure there, and only do swaps when they actually need to move into a different asset. And when someone does need to swap, that's where instant swap services still come in. These are simple. You send one coin, you receive another coin. No sign up. As long as amounts are reasonable, most of these services still don't require KYC in 2026. But here's an important rule. Always use fresh wallets for outputs. Never reuse addresses. And ideally, use a VPN or Tor while doing this. Which brings me to wallets. Now, let's slow down for a second. Because tools don't matter if habits are bad. Wallet choice matters. You want non-custodial wallets. No accounts, no email, no identity. For Bitcoin, people use wallets with strong privacy controls. For Monero, official or well-known community wallets are the standard. But here's the thing most beginners miss. Privacy is not just about the wallet. It's about behavior. You don't reuse addresses. You don't label wallets with personal info. You don't send from a public wallet to a private one without breaking the link. And you don't access everything from your home IP without protection. VPNs and Tor are not optional anymore. They're basic hygiene. Now I want to talk about real-world usage. Let's start with online spending. There are three main methods people use in 2026. The first is direct crypto payments. Many services accept crypto directly. VPNs, hosting, software, subscriptions. If a merchant accepts Bitcoin or Lightning, that's usually the cleanest option. If they accept Monero, even better. You pay, transaction done. No personal info required. The second method is crypto gift cards. This is one of the most underrated tools. You can buy gift cards for major brands using crypto. Cryptofills is one platform I tested for this and it's working fine. No account, no KYC, instant delivery. Then you use that gift card like normal. Groceries, electronics, food delivery, streaming services. This method works globally and scales surprisingly well. The third option is virtual prepaid cards. In 2026, there are still services offering no KYC virtual cards funded with crypto. I mentioned some of them in one of my previous videos. These cards work online just like Visa or MasterCard, and many can be added to mobile wallets. You don't need to give your real name. You don't need the documents. You just load crypto and spend. Now let's talk about offline spending. This is where people think it gets impossible. It doesn't. First option is simple. Some physical stores accept crypto directly, especially Bitcoin and Lightning. If you find those places, great. That's the cleanest method. Second option is using no KYC crypto cards in physical stores. Many people use virtual cards through Apple Pay or Google Pay. You tap your phone, the store sees a normal card payment. Behind the scenes, crypto is being used. No ID, no bank account. Third option is gift cards again. You buy a gift card with crypto. You use it in store. This works for supermarkets, clothing stores, and even gas stations in many countries. And finally, there's cash. Some people still convert small amounts of crypto to cash using ATMs or peer-to-peer trades. Cash is still anonymous, and sometimes it's the simplest bridge. Now, before wrapping this up, I want to share a few important warnings. Now, let me be very clear. Privacy is legal, but misuse is not. Know your local laws, understand limits, and don't be careless. Also, not every no KYC service is trustworthy. If something looks too good to be true, it probably is. Test with small amounts, use well-known tools, and never rush. Privacy is not about speed, it's about consistency. One sloppy transaction can undo months of careful behavior. So let me summarize this simply. Anonymous crypto spending in 2026 is still possible, but it's no longer automatic. If this video helped you, drop a comment below. Let me know what part you found most useful. Hit the like button if you want more content like this, and share it with someone who still thinks crypto privacy doesn't matter. As always, these small actions go a long way for the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.